Why did I switch to the M2 MacBook Air from the M1 MacBook Pro? Well, it's kind of complicated. I'm pretty sure Apple knew it was an Ally Express screen from this. Well, I wasn't planning on upgrading. You see, back in June, I already replaced the screen on my MacBook Pro. This one's actually more broken because I punched it several times. That was before I changed it. And it was great. The only complaint I really have with this Ally Express screen is that the hinge wasn't as strong as the OEM screen. That's how strong it used to be. Here's the old screen. It's very difficult. Jesus. It hurts my fingers to do that. But even with the week, like I had a case on my laptop hinge, it was running just fine, and still does. But in November, things started to act strange. You see, the camera would only work if I had the screen a certain way, like this. Any more like this or like this wouldn't work. It worked out great in my English class when I didn't want to show my face. What was I gonna do? Use a $500 camera as a webcam? I mean, they'd see every detail. Then the camera just stopped working entirely, which means every time I wanted to use it or anything, I either had to use my webcam that I use for videos or my iPhone. And I said I'd kind of just live with the computer camera being broken because it's not like I really use it all the time anyway. Now I will. Cause the new one's 1080p. I even went to Apple for the screen the first time, and they said it'd be $500 to replace it, which is why I did it myself, cheaply, through AliExpress. But even just to change the camera, I have to replace the screen again. That's why I said screw it, because it'd be $500. I went to Apple 4 times, but just last week, well, 2 weeks ago, since I'm late to recording this and not late to writing a script, the screen stopped working. As you can see, it does still work. Did kind of do what the camera did, where it would only work at an angle, but when I mean angle, I meant this, and that ain't gonna work with me and anyone. It would have been different if it worked here or stopped working around like here and stopped working from here. I would have been able to live with it, but then it stopped working entirely. And the main problem was it broke 12 hours before my next school semester started, and that wasn't gonna run with me. Now, I would have been totally down to fix this MacBook Pro, but here's the problem. I was on a time crunch. See, for this particular model, the M1, Apple would have had to send it out to California for them to fix it, and I probably wouldn't have gotten it back until Wednesday, which was too late for me. Now, could I probably have gotten away with it? Maybe. I already missed the entire week without my MacBook anyway. What did I use to take notes on? Nothing. Nothing. I'm being serious. I didn't take notes the first week. I could have used my iPad, but I have janitor handwriting. Now, since it's around that time of tax seasons, I would have been paid enough to get this done, but it probably wouldn't have come until like April, maybe March, and that's like halfway through the semester. People were saying it might have not come until like late April, which is like final week for me. So it would have literally been pointless to replace the screen. And I had to spend the money to upgrade, even though the M2 Pro and M2 MacBook Pros were literally just getting released. I don't care. Now, I know I probably could have done Apple refurbished because there would have been a ton of MacBooks in the refurbished store because of the new Macs coming out, which is honestly a good tip. So if you're looking to buy a new MacBook, I would honestly wait until the newer models come out, because there will be a bunch of these either at the store or a bunch of them on the Apple refurbished store. And maybe you'll get lucky that they'll have refurbished ones at the store. So I settled with the M2 MacBook Air, the one I totally trash talked because it looked like the MacBook Pro, because I was very upset that they got rid of the wedge. And I even got it in the midnight color that I also roasted. I don't know, I was very anal back then. So what did I do? I got it in midnight. I don't know, after spending a day in Apple, the color just kind of went on me, and I kind of started to like the design. Maybe it's because I had the MacBook Pro, I don't know. I was going to get this in space gray, but I'm actually kind of shocked that they had it in midnight. When I was in the Apple store, I was looking at it in space gray, and I was like, that's the one. But then I kind of looked over and saw it in midnight, and I was like, I can live with this. It's an okay color. I liked that they made it so that the charger matches too, like the iMacs. So I honestly just kind of went with it and asked if they had it in midnight, which to my shock, they said they had a boatload of them in the back. I'm just gonna say it's the Pro because no one will know. Now, just like when I got my M1 MacBook Air, I'm gonna do a review of me owning it 5 days later. After I got it, it's practically the same besides having MagSafe, which I'm glad it returned. And honestly, I feel like I'm editing on the 14-inch MacBook Pro, sometimes 16 inches if I'm feeling great. Even though the screen is 0.3 inches bigger than this screen, I feel like the screen is much bigger. The difference 0.3 inches make, ladies. Oh, she is not gonna like that joke. The screen color is more crisp, and I feel like it's more cleaner, mainly because I think it's a higher quality than the M1 MacBooks. I just feel like it's more colorful and everything. And no, the notch doesn't bother me. I have an iPhone 12, and I can use TrueTone again. The camera, perfect. 1080p, it's perfect. Just look at it. Here's a clip. The weight on this computer is outrageous. This makes this feel like a brick. Even though this MacBook Air is 0.1 ounces literally lighter than the M1 MacBook Air, I feel like this is way lighter. Like I still pick this up and I'm like, there's no way this weighs this much. Like I don't even remember my M1 Air weighing this, being this light. And I thought this was light. I feel like I could kill a man with this. The downside is my dongle. It doesn't match anymore. And I think it's because of the roundness. Honestly, I think the upgrade's pretty good. I mean, if you have an M1 Mac or like a Mac from like 2018-ish, you shouldn't really have to upgrade yet. I mean, unless you're willing to spend the money, go for it. I'm not telling you what to do. But I mean, if you're upgrading from like a 2016 or something, I would totally recommend either like an M1 Mac if you're saving money, or if you really want that extraness, I would totally go with the M2 Air. Thank you guys for watching. Also, low-key kinda miss Touch Bar, but I'll live with it. Also, is it weird that I can kind of feel the electricity coursing through the new MacBook when I have it plugged in? I don't feel it when I have it unplugged. Also, the guy at Apple said it would be like $500, $600 to replace, but I can literally get a new screen for the M1 Pro, buy it from their self-repair, fix it, and then return the OEM broken screen, and I would get it for like $430. I probably should have gone with that. But again, I was on a time crunch. Now it's retired to a room decoration, and if I ever feel cocky enough, I'm gonna put stickers all over it. I wonder what that reminds me of. You know it's official when I change that.